Welcome to the Zero Employee Company, the show about building a business that runs through systems and AI agents instead of employees. It's based on the book by Giovanni Brees. Today, Giovanni gets practical with the first 5 roles he would replace with AI agents in order. And the order matters more than the list. Before getting into the list, there's one rule. Without it, the list won't do much for you. Stop thinking in tools. Start thinking in roles. A tool is something you open, use, then close. If you're not using it, nothing happens. A role is a function that keeps running in the business, whether you're thinking about it or not. In a normal company, people fill those roles. Someone handles outreach, someone deals with the inbox, someone watches the numbers. In a zero-employee company, you define the role first, then put an agent in it instead of hiring a person. That might sound philosophical, it isn't. It's the difference between doing work faster and having less work to do. If you paste emails into a chat window, you're still the writer. You're just writing faster. If an agent watches your inbox and drafts replies before you even open it, you're now the reviewer. One is a tool, the other is a role. The role is what gives you your time back. There's another rule, and this one is about order. Giovanni calls it the delegation ladder. You rank work using 2 questions. How often does it come up? And how much damage can a rough first attempt do? Start with work that happens constantly and can tolerate a draft. Then move toward work that's rare and unforgiving. Stop well before you reach the top. People usually get this backward. They start with the impressive agent that's supposed to close deals or make strategic calls. It screws something up, they get burned, and they decide the whole thing is hype. The technology wasn't the problem, their sequencing was. Okay, so here are the 5, starting at the bottom rung. Role 1, correspondence. The inbox. Everyone should start here. No exceptions. Email comes back every single day. A drafted reply has a lot of value even when it isn't perfect, because you're still in the loop on every send. The agent drafts, you approve. A mistake costs you nothing because nothing leaves without your yes. And you see the payback immediately because this work happens daily. The role is simple. Draft replies in your voice, so email goes from writing to reviewing. Giovanni believed in this role so much that he built an entire business around it. Meet Oscar. Within days of running it, you feel the difference. Your inbox stops being a writing job. It turns into an approval queue. Role 2, research. This agent gathers and reads. It doesn't act. Before a call, it can answer basic questions. Who is this person? What does their company do? What changed for them recently? Before a decision, it can pull together the options, what they cost, and the trade-offs. You build this role second because it's about as safe as it gets. The output is information for you. It isn't taking action out in the world. If the research is imperfect, you get a slightly wrong briefing. You don't damage a relationship. This is where you learn to define a role precisely while the downside is close to 0. That's useful practice because vague instructions are probably the fastest way to build a useless agent. Role 3, monitoring. The watcher. It reads your numbers and your channels. It watches what's going on around your business, then tells you when something changes. Sales dipped. A competitor changed pricing. A payment failed. Someone mentioned you. Here's the design rule that makes monitoring work. Silence should be the default. If your monitor reports every day that everything is fine, it'll become noise within a week. Then you'll train yourself to ignore it, and now it's worthless. The role should speak only when something crosses a threshold you've defined. It should do that in one line, with one specific ask. A good monitoring role is the closest thing this model has to peace of mind. You don't have to keep the whole business in your head. Something is watching. You know it'll speak when it needs to. Role 4, content production. This means first drafts of actual work. A newsletter, a blog post, product descriptions, or a report. We're one rung higher now because the output is getting closer to the outside world, and good is harder to define. That's why content comes 4th rather than 1st. By this point, the first 3 roles have taught you the 2 skills you need. You know how to define what done looks like, and you've learned to inspect the output before anything ships. The role makes drafts. You're still the editor, you still make the final taste call. The amount of publishable material you can sustain this way is something no solo founder could match by hand. But you do have to edit it. If you let the agent publish whatever it produces, you're going to put out a lot of bland rubbish very quickly. Role 5. Outreach drafting. Cold outreach and warm outreach. The role finds prospects, researches them, then drafts the messages. Pay attention to the word drafting. This is the highest rung of the 5 because the output is going to real people, and their opinion of you matters. A bad message sent to the right person can cost you something you can't easily get back. So the human boundary here is absolute. The agent assembles the information, it does the research, and writes the draft. Every message that matters crosses your desk before it goes anywhere. You're no longer writing outreach, which used to eat entire afternoons. You're approving it. That takes minutes. That's the spine. Correspondence, research, monitoring, content, outreach. Build them in that order. Each role teaches you what you'll need for the next one, while the stakes go up a little at a time. By role 5, you have real skills. You can define done. You can design handoffs, and you know how to inspect output. You also have a business where recurring work runs on systems while you stay at the edge, approving whatever crosses into the world. Now let's talk about what doesn't go on this list, no matter how good the tools get. First, irreversible money decisions. These are rare and unforgiving, with asymmetric downside. The system can prepare the decision. It can gather the numbers and lay out the options. It never makes the call. Next, key relationships. Most correspondence can be treated as a role. A small set of people can't. When the relationship itself is the asset, you have to show up as a human. If you outsource that, you don't save time. You quietly destroy the thing you were trying to keep. Anything legal stays off the list too. Contracts, compliance, disputes. This work is irreversible and high stakes. It also depends on exactly the kind of judgment that a confident machine can fake very well while still getting it wrong. Use real professionals. Full stop. And then there's the final taste call. The last yes on anything that puts you in front of the world stays with you. If you can't define something, you can't delegate it. Taste is mostly a feeling you were never able to put into words anyway. All 4 exclusions follow the same pattern. The work is rare and irreversible. It also depends on a relationship, taste, or adversarial judgment. That means it stays human. These aren't temporary gaps that disappear when a better model comes out next year. They're places where a human is the right tool. So here's your homework, if you want it. Draw your org chart. Don't put names on it, put roles. Find your version of these 5. Then build role 1, the inbox, and build nothing else until it works and you trust it. That first role is your foothold. Everything else in this model climbs from there. The delegation ladder, the role worksheets, and the full build order are in Giovanni Brees' book, The Zero Employee Company. You'll find the link in the show notes. See you next time.